Willow Creek High, my dream high school. They only accept 4% of applicants, and I made it in. And now I finally get to tour it as a student. I am so excited. This is the cafeteria where they held all the info sessions. And once I heard Jeffrey Landgrab give a speech up there. Anyways, I have to go pick up my schedule from the principal. I heard he has a higher IQ than Isaac Newton. Act cool, act cool. Oh my god, does that say valedictorian of the Foxbury Institute? I have to get out of here before I freak out. My schedule shows the science lab as my homeroom, but I have to stop in the cafe and meet Miss Miles. She's the chef who cooked for Judith Ward when she was a student here. And I hear if you get on her good side, she'll add a special something to help you boost your test scores. Anyways, up to tour the science lab. Last year, I did a summer camp for gifted students where they let us mix moodlet potions in the science lab. I discovered the recipes for happy, focused, and confident potions before the instructor even said go. The science lab is right next to the library and debate room. Wow, this is amazing. I've already studied the names and locations of all 206 bones in the sim body. My second and third periods are going to be the computer lab and history study. But I want to go check out the new basketball court and soccer field. I'm not much of a fan of sports. I just exercise to stimulate the growth of my brain cells and improve my memory. I also saw the gym is right next to the dance studio and they just upgraded the locker rooms. I heard the murals on the walls at Willow Creek High were painted by Holly Alto's mentor. I've never been able to find their name, but clearly they helped teach one of the most famous painters of all time. Oh, and the brand new soccer field. I hear the last soccer field was around since they built this school 65 years ago. I wonder what it took to build this school.
It's your girl Sim Spacio, and today we're going back to school. For those of you who are old and don't remember, this is the worst time of the year. This is the end of freedom and happiness. It also explains why it's taken me so long to release a video. I wish I could stay on summer vacation forever, but unfortunately I need a life. But Sims is life. Yes, Sims is life, but I need a real life. Anyways, to celebrate my least favorite time of the year, I built an excessively large Sims build. Now that I have so little free time, I seem to have thought spending the last 2 weeks making a giant high school was a good use of that free time. And for the record, it was. This was actually very fun. I was going for public school, and every single public school looks the same in my eyes, with those foam ceiling panels, big cinder block walls painted in fun colors, and sticky waxed tile floors. So when I could not find those things in The Sims, I gave up and decided to make this fancy. The entryway of this build has a little sitting area on one side and an attendance office on the other. This school is pretty prestigious and they don't just let anybody in, so I built an office for a worker to check people in when they come to visit the school. I started building the principal's office and found this to be the most adorable room in the build. With a lack of space, I decided there is only one principal in the school, no one else. I also decided there is only one school counselor, so therefore these kids better not be needy. The counselor's office is designed to be warm and welcoming with games and comfy chairs, but the principal's office is meant to show prestige and honor. So he's proudly displaying his diplomas on the wall. Outside of both of these offices is just the main waiting area with some seats and where the secretaries would sit. For the cafeteria, I wanted to combine it with a type of stage or auditorium where the principal could get up and make announcements or where they could have a little talent show or school meeting. With the amount of lunch tables I fit in this room, I'd say the school has about 60 students. I have no idea if that would work with the amount of classrooms and the size of each classroom upstairs, though. Right outside of the kitchen, there are vending machines for students to get any snack or drink, and then the first thing I'm adding to the kitchen is a row of counters where the food is going to be served. I then furnished an entire kitchen with a few of each appliance, assuming they would need multiple of each to make enough food for at least 60 kids. Then I jumped outside to make the soccer field. I surrounded it with a fence to better define it, And actually, the lines of the soccer field are just the smallest fence that there is in this game. I tested it, and your sim can actually walk right over the white lines. I do feel like this soccer field is a little lame because I couldn't find anything that looked like a goal, so it's really just the lines on the grass. I used a lot of city living items in this build, including the floor paint for a basketball court. You'll also notice a lot of murals around the school, which I think you really would find in most schools. Maybe about like the school community or never give up. But here we just have some generic murals to take up some space. There is a boys and girls locker room, each equipped with 5 showers and some lockers. I did not add toilets or sinks in here, so unfortunately your sim would need to walk across the first floor to the toilets on the other side of the cafeteria. The final room on this first floor is the dance studio, which is really simple and has a wall full of mirrors, a nice stereo, and some shelves to hold yoga mats and other supplies. As we move upstairs, you'll notice there are a lot of rooms. Not every room has its own unique theme, but I started with the rooms or the types of rooms that I was most inspired to decorate and then ended with the more generic ones. I was most excited about the science lab and looked up pictures of actual science classrooms to come up with the idea to use counters. And then I decorated it with all the sciencey things I could find, and I really love how it came out. The hallways and a lot of the classrooms were decorated using art that I downloaded from people all over the gallery. So unfortunately, this lot got marked as using custom content when I uploaded the whole thing to the gallery. It doesn't really need that custom content label, and you don't need custom content certainly to download it. It was just some of the art, which is optional in the end. I added little locker areas, which turned out to be so adorable, but will never be used because your sim's not going to get in there. You'll also notice that this video flows a little weird, and the truth is I started with the completed build and I just went deleting items room by room, and then I took that video and I reversed it. So you are actually watching backwards footage, and sometimes the shadows pop up before the actual item, and each time I transition to a new camera angle, it just looks a little weird. Anyways, the music room has guitars and pianos for students to learn, as well as some technology that in-game is completely unrelated to music, but in my mind looks pretty good. At the other end of the hall is the art room with enough easels for a class to paint together, a table for students to work together, and a sink to clean the brushes. My favorite room besides all the themed rooms is this computer lab. It actually looks quite real, and as a student, I would love for my class to be working out of the computer lab. You'll notice these big projector screens on the wall. In reality, they are just giant TVs. I made 2 identical offices where teachers could meet with small groups of students, maybe in a seminar type class. And beyond this, most of the classrooms are just generic with a few desks for students, bookshelves, a screen, and teachers' desks. The only other rooms that really stand out are the history room, the library, and maybe like the law room. I've said enough about this build for now, so if you are interested in downloading this from the gallery, keep in mind you best have a computer that can handle it. But it is named Willow Creek High School. It can be found on the Simspacio page. It is up there as a generic lot because, believe it or not, I do not have high school years or university and have no idea if there are more relevant lots for this build. Anyways, thank you for watching. I'd love for you to leave a comment with your thoughts. Don't forget to subscribe, and I will see you next time I have enough free time to make another video. Peace.